for today. We'll jump into it. Transcribed from the Calofractor to the Journal of Jajan to Nephew of Adras, King of Jaland, dated 11/4/52, first, third, and 17th degree of the Platinum season. And two's words are as follows. We have been lost in the Alval Forest for 8 days now. The arguing started 3 days ago. Jed and Jerobe's disagreement on which path to take has gotten so bad that the two of them are no longer speaking to each other. Yesterday they left, going in opposite directions, leaving me to guard our base camp. This provided me with ample time to experiment with the calefactor, while I wait for them to return. This strange and beautiful Kirikin device is full of information and wonder. Simply fiddling with the configurations of its various settings and positions results in an array of different functions. The first configuration I discover provided me with a multitude of simple spells that I could cast through the device. With practice and patience, they became second nature. A second configuration allowed me to record information into the device. Hence, what you are reading at this very moment, if anyone should find where I've stored this recording in the calefactor. The final configuration took the longest to discover, a setting that allowed me to view previous entries into the device from former owners. Much of it seems to be lore of the Kirikan people, dating back thousands of years. I'm fascinated by their history, so my time here in the Alval Forest will not be wasted.
What does this device look like?
Just exactly, well, actually, you have no idea what it looks like. All right. And let's shift to where we were last time. Last time, I believe our entire session took place at the Spring here in Selkirk. Spring is a location where a Kirin resides, a primordial spirit that may have existed here prior to even the Jinn. Um, each Skyland has its own spring and its own Kirin spirit that guards the spring. It provides healing powers to all that live on a Skyland. If there's ever an issue with the Skyland Spring, then the people of the Skyland will not be able to receive the benefits of a long rest, mechanically speaking. You guys arrived at this spring following after some type of cursed monkey that you were chasing after. A cursed monkey that had placed a curse on a young boy named Shem, who you were able to rescue. You traveled down the stream that led to the spring, and there you found the Kirin. But some of you were able to figure out that the Kirin itself was an illusion, and it was actually masking the identity of this cursed monkey with two heads, who you were able to battle. You rescued Jan, who had been captured or slain by the two-headed cursed monkey in some way. A secondary monkey arrived with one head, who you were also able to slay. Jan let Coakley borrow his Alvar staff, which spoke to Coakley in Coakley's mind, showing him moves that battle maneuvers that Coakley could use to help best the cursed monkey. He also gifted Moby with a sortilege, the first sortilege, and I may have misspoken last time. I said it that your sortilege that you were given, he may have mentioned that it provided you with wall and healing spells. I apologize, it's just healing spells because it is of Odros, the Windweaver. He has a secondary sortilege that he may have mentioned, which is that of Amos, which provides him with wall spells. A sortilege is basically like a divine spirit or divine soul that allows an individual to cast spells of a specific type in relation to whichever divine djinn grants them that sortilege. And so now you have that in your possession, Moby. It is inside your body, but you don't necessarily know how to access it yet. Um, so you guys were able to team up together to defeat the larger of the two-headed um, cursed monkey, knocking it off the cliff, landing in the stream below the waterfall. And then the other monkey, however, slew Jan, but Moby was able to revive Jan using the sortilege, casting the revivify spell, and bringing him back to life. Then you guys were able to slay the second monkey, and that's kind of where we return to our story. I'm going to bring us to that page right now. You guys have been swimming around in the hot springs here. Hold on a second. You guys have been swimming around in the hot springs. A short rest when it's taken in the hot springs is equivalent to a long rest. So after an hour of swimming around in here, you guys will be able to hit the long rest button. Sorry, I'm taking you to the wrong screen. And heal all your injuries and wounds. But for the time being, if you would like to roll any hit dice to recover any health, you can do that as well.
I'll definitely do that.
Yeah, so if you would like to recover hit dice or any short rest stuff immediately, that can take place. A short rest in the spring takes place in about a minute worth of time.
That'll get me to full.
Anybody else interested in recovering hit dice?
No, I'm good. I didn't take any damage.
I didn't take any damage either.
Well, fuck you.
Okay.
I just specifically hated Moby and Jan in that fight.
I guess so, yeah. All right. Well, we're gonna do some NPC stuff real quick, and then I'll let you guys kind of chit chat with each other if you'd like to, because Jan is going to swim over to Coakley first. Coakley, you're still kind of holding on to the staff that Jan let you borrow, and as he swims over, the staff in your hand kind of shakes a little bit. It vibrates, and it kind of turns into like this snake-like form, twists about. Do you let go of it?
I let go of it slightly later than a normal human would have let go of it. Like a normal human would freak out. I think I'm looking at it for like, oh, this is interesting. And then I will just like open my hand. I'm not gonna drop it. I'm gonna let it just like slither away.
Yeah. Kind of like if you've ever seen like a video of like somebody holding a snake, it's kind of what it looks like. It kind of slithers, and then as it like lands in the water, it floats, and it kind of has a serpentine like pattern as it swims back to Jan, curls around his arm, and nestles itself kind of looped or wrapped, curled up around his arm. And Jan swims over to you, and he says to you, Coakley, you seem quite proficient using my Alvar staff. Surely you must have used such a weapon before.
I've practiced with blunt weaponry before. I never have had a conversation with one though.
Now,
And this
please don't take this the wrong way, Coakley, but it seems strange to me that a being such as yourself, made of metal, could so quickly bond to an Alvar. They themselves are beings that live off the blood of their host, so to me it just seems odd that it would take to your metallic form.
While I'm quite proficient in my understanding of my own body, I'm certain that my maker did things beyond my comprehension. I do believe I'm mostly made of metal, but there may be other things inside of me that I'm simply not aware of, and that might be interfering or necessitating. No, shit. Sorry.
Facilitating.
Facilitating. Thank you. Facilitating the bond to the staff or snake or whatever that was.
So your own form of blood, then, I suppose. Fascinating. Did Sorrel speak with you?
Is that the name of the sentient staff that I was holding?
It is indeed.
They gave me some quite helpful instructions on how to play that two-headed being that we just slew.
Hmm. Very strange indeed. It's not typically say kindly to other individuals. He takes some time to get comfortable with others. He kind of nods knowingly. So, if he was commanding you, then there is still much you have to learn. A true master of an Alvar weapon learns to command their Alvier. He takes the staff and it like straightens out and he tosses it kind of to you across the water.
I will do my best to attempt to catch it.
Let's see if you do. Roll a dexterity check. Or sleight of hand, up to you.
We'll just do a dexterity check because I don't think I was ready for it. Ugh.
Kind of like splashes off the surface of the water and then maybe you catch it. Not as
It ended
not
up being
as
like a two-handed catch.
yeah. Not as fancy as you maybe had wanted it to, but he says, here, borrow Sorrel for now. Take him ashore and practice. This time, gotta guide him. If you ever find yourself in Pyrrhus, seek out the Alvar Forest. There you may be able to bond to your own Alvier. But, as I said, you must learn to guide it. Sort of like calling your shot in a battle.
If we're ever on where? Seek out the Pyrrhus?
In Pyrrhus, yes.
I will give my thanks, and I will immediately go start training on the shore. Not needing a long rest of any sort. Yeah.
Yeah, and as you do so, you kind of are locked in this mental battle of like setting your will against the staff. It keeps kind of suggesting moves and maneuvers for you to do. Maybe you try to resist that and come up with your own ways of practicing and striking. But as you leave the water, he'll swim over to Moby. And Jan will say to you, Moby, thank you, Moby, to you and your companions. It will curse, and I've lost much of my power since I've returned to Jaland. Without your intervention, the curse would have stolen my divine sortileges. Who knows what damage it could have done to Selkirk with such magical power. I am beginning to wonder if a similar ill curse befell Corsica 1 year ago. Perhaps our actions here today saved Selkirk from a similar fate.
Perhaps. I have been wondering as well, as we have been licking our wounds and taking a moment to rest here in the spring. I can't help but wonder why we are not immediately making way for the Quarry of Kings. I also
Yes, indeed.
recognize that there is one of us you have not, perhaps, as formally met. And my head sort of shifts over towards Jay's direction. I believe there is something we need to speak of regarding Jay's circumstances. He is my liege, my lord, and I would do anything for him. I wished for you to be more aware of his circumstances.
I'll have you make an insight check.
16?
You good? As you say that, like as you mention, I want to introduce you. You see kind of like a subtle smile here on Jan's face, indicating that maybe he knows a little bit more than he's leading on, but he just simply nods and says, in due time, I'm sure this individual that you speak of will reveal themselves. I too came to this land wanting to hide my identity, but it is time, I believe, for me to also announce who I am. As you probably know, my name is not Jan.
No, I suppose it is not. And what of your brothers?
Hmm. I know not where either of them are. I'm here alone. This is a mission that I've set out on by myself. But with you all here, maybe I'm not alone. Maybe this is something that we can complete together. But you mentioned the core of the kings. Maybe that would be a better place to have this conversation. For now, enjoy the spring, rest. Once we have all recovered, we can head there together.
Very well.
And keep that sortilege for yourself. You've earned it with your heroic actions. It will do you no good until you've gained the favor of my aunt, Odros the Windweaver. There's a shrine nearby. To her and all the other Jinn and Jinlings, you will find my own statue there. But if you should pray to my statue, it will be for naught. As a Jinglin, I have no divine power to grant you. But seek out the statue of Odros when we arrive at the court of the kings.
I will. I will harbor
Then,
this.
go ahead.
Just saying, I'll take care of his gift.
And then he's gonna find an opportunity to kind of meet with Moritaba and Telemachus, both of you at the same time. So he'll swim over to the two of you and say, the two of you fought bravely against that curse. You have my thanks. But I have concern for another, a small boy, just trapped up in a tree by this cursed monkey. Farther downstream. I was unable, unfortunately, to rescue him. Did you happen to come upon him on your journeys?
Yes, we heroically saved him, actually. He's with his mother now.
There is a note of concern on my end, though. He seemed to have been affected by this curse and was unable to speak. As I know, some others were also affected similarly. And I'm just hoping that what we just managed to do here can have some good outcome for them.
If there was only some way to tell if the curse has been lifted on this boy. Not sure. Well, if you say he's been rescued, that is good. I will share a tale from my perspective, though. Once I left you all, I headed straight for the spring to prepare for the ritual of effervescence. On my journey, I came across this monkey chasing that young boy up the tree. I saw the curse for what it was as soon as I lay eyes upon it. I was able to shrug aside its dastardly gaze and slay it with sorrel, my Alval quarterstaff. I cast its body into the stream beneath the tree, where the young boy hid. The stream that is sourced by this very spring that we swim in. When I turned back to help the young boy, I suppose a second cursed monkey attacked me from behind. This one had two heads. It
The one that
blinded
didn't
and
fight
bested
had
me.
two heads?
And then the next thing I remember is waking up to seeing you all battling the cursed creature. One of the ones that you slayed did have two heads, yes.
So
Oh,
immediately starting to wonder if there's some version of a mythical Hydra type effect happening, where one curse was killed and then a new one stronger popped up. Is there a threat of that happening again, or is there not because the Kieran has been restored?
There was also
well, are you saying...
originally people thought it was the dandelion. Oh no,
Jan, I want to ask,
there was.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
Go ahead. You go ahead.
did you kill that one that you left in the stream? Is that maybe one of the... Or did it leave?
What What do you mean? I
said
slew
you-
it, and I cast its body into the stream, yes, beneath the tree.
And do you think that one stayed dead, or came back with two heads, or there were two of them?
I'm not sure. Like I said, I turned around and the next moment, I was attacked from behind, blinded. But I got a quick glimpse of it before its gaze took me, and it had two heads.
And then the one that we just fought, that one had two heads, and then there was also the big
Well,
one.
well, there's one with two heads, which you kicked over the waterfall, or that Coakley kicked over the waterfall, and then there was one with one head, who's slaying
Okay.
kind of off to the shore here.
I know the big one disintegrated. Did the little one disintegrate too?
Neither of them disintegrated. Their corpses lay there.
Oh, so we should probably take these things out of the stream, right?
Perhaps if its essence is poisoning the water, we should at least drag it out of where it lies below.
I try to telekinesis it out, but don't have that power.
Yeah, pretty heavy.
Yeah, we should probably do that before we. It's funny thinking about us hanging out in the stream while it's just in there too.
You guys go over
Or-
to the edge of the waterfall.
Well, because the big
Or-
one's at the bottom of the waterfall, so like the pool is empty because the smaller monkey is.
Yeah, that's
off
true.
the-
I do want to go peek at this corpse at the bottom.
Make a perception check.
Okay,
It has 3 heads.
these are my specialty. 14.
Yep. As you are watching this corpse kind of float in the water, you see wounds across its body starting to knit and heal, just like the wounds that were across your guys' body start to knit and heal.
We gotta go get that thing out of the water ASAP. 'Cause
We're
it's
literally
healing.
in a healing pool.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Healing water. We're nearly gonna
Creature.
die, this thing, guys.
How far is the jump down?
The creature begins to grow their head.
Oh
Never
Grow
boy.
what?
A third
It's
head.
And
beginning to grow a third head.
in the water. Change the
I wanna-
music.
How far is the waterfall?
Oh,
How
no.
far down is he?
I think it was like 20 feet drop.
Stepping up and out of the water.
Oh, it's like
Oh, boy.
alive.
Oh man. That's super cool looking.
Third head emerges from this creature's body.
I used every resource I had.
You just got a short rest though.
True, that healed me for 7 points and didn't do anything else for me. Yep.
Oh, I should mention I arcane recovery with that short rest and got one of my spell slots back. Is relevant now.
Wow, that's so cool looking.
It steps up and out of the water. I need you all to roll initiative once again.
Oh boy.
Did I already guiding bolt?
Let me delete. Hold on. Let me delete it before you roll it.
I
Sorry.
forgot I guiding bolted. Oh yeah. Telemachus is so much more alive than Telperion. My teles.
I rolled a natural 1 if you want to get that on there. I won't re-roll that.
Does that mean
Noted.
disadvantage on your first attack? Are we playing with that rule? If you get nat
don't need
20, you
to
get
say that.
advantage on your first attack?
What's the official rule for
2024.
That was
I
always just a
don't-
homebrew rule.
Yeah, it was a homebrew rule. I don't know that that is a rule. In
Initiative.
So the question is that a Tim homebrew rule? If it's since it's a crit and you get I'd say that's totally at DM discretion.
You rolled.
Lamacus.
I feel like it's gotta be because there's gotta be like, what do you get if you get like a nat 20 on a initiative check, right? Like, there's gotta be something better
Really?
for it. So we'll play that way.
Oh,
I agree. I think that's fun. And conversely,
Yeah, and conversely, if you roll
15 for Morikawa.
all right, Moritawa, I gotta add you.
I probably should play my turn.
$15, and then Coakley, you had a 4.
Yeah, 4.
what's interesting is that we don't mutate when we heal from the springs, but curses maybe specifically mutate when receiving.
So how are we
spring
gonna kill
healing.
this thing better and different than the last time?
Well, most
can't-
notably,
you can't
Coakley,
fall
I'll
back
give
into
you
water.
an insight check or a perception check over by where you are.
Wow, this fucking
Yeah.
water monkey.
Well, yeah. Is it the area or in general?
Yeah,
If
Coakley, you notice that the monkey beside you is very much dead and not moving. Just a
Oh.
stationary corpse.
This is why my initiative is low. I've been practicing just hitting the dead monkey on the ground.
yeah, you already spent your first turn. Just
Yeah. Attack!
Was it weak to radiant damage?
don't remember.
Unknown. I don't know if you did. You hit it with radiant damage?
I hit it with a guiding bolt, I guess, because I don't have a guiding bolt charge anymore.
I think
I
did
used
you
my
miss
guiding bolt
on
when I was
that?
on the Kieran.
So I see Guiding Bolt 18 for 10 damage, and then also I've been using my True Strike.
True Strike.
with Radiant, so
Okay, so then you guys would definitely know that it is not specifically weak to or vulnerable. Sorry. Yep. All right. So this big three-headed creature steps up and out of the stream. You see its wounds kind of knitting back together, and it grows this third head, growing larger this time. Potentially, what happened to Jan exactly is happening to you guys, as this creature, being within the healing spring, has come back to life. Telemachus,
Big
you're up.
Big yikes is right. Telemachus. I'm going to this is such a great position to strike at it from.
It is at least, yeah. Positioning's kind of fun, and it's probably, I assume, 15-ish feet tall, and we're at like a 20-foot elevation ish, right?
Yeah, you're
So we're-
probably like 5 feet below it, but it's almost tall enough where it's kind of sticking its head over the waterfall, right? So it's a large, or considered a huge creature.
Can I just swing at it since it's next to me? Like, is it that close to me in melee distance?
Yeah, well, it's
Not
like
really.
5 feet down, yeah.
Okay, sweet. I'll just swing at it with my scimitar. All right. And then that'll be a D8 if it hits. +3. Oh, no, a D6 if it hits. I'm going to use... Actually, no, I'll swing with my short sword first and use the Vex feature on it, because that gives me... What does Vex do?
advantage if you hit.
Yeah, sweet. Ooh, nat 1 on that. So then I will use my bonus action with my scimitar.
You don't even have to use your bonus action.
Nick property.
Oh, it itself has the nick property, so it itself doesn't need the bonus action. Is that the truth?
Correct.
Yeah, probably should learn what that.
As long as the Nick is one of the weapon masteries you have.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, I gotta learn how that works a little better. 16 to hit.
16 hits.
All right, I slash its eyes for 6 damage. Then I spit
right.
on it.
Jesus.
6 damage to the face.
Even if you have the
Um,
rules.
yeah.
I don't want to be in this thing's range per se. So I will. I don't know if it probably can opportunity attack me, but we'll see. I'm gonna step back.
And it will definitely take an opportunity attack against you with one of its creeping tentacles.
My AC is 15.
Did not mean to roll with advantage. I apologize for that. So, since it made one and missed one, I'm just gonna re-roll. I feel like that's fair enough.
Yeah, reroll sounds good.
Oh,
Oh my god.
15.
Creeping tentacle, three-headed cursed primate.
It smacks you for 5 bludgeoning damage and 5 necrotic damage.
Oh boy.
resistant.
Oh, but I'm resistant, so I take 12 or 7 damage
You're resistant to necrotic.
as an Azamar.
Ooh, nice. Okay, so 7 damage.
Sweet. Well, it can't hit you guys now if you swing in. So I moved back 5, 10, 15. Can I move through his space?
through
15,
mine.
20.
How does that work with allies again?
Yeah, I wonder if they've clarified or changed things at all in 2024.
Just move back here and call it.
Okay.
Pass. Oh, I guess I have bonus action. Oh, I have a bonus action. I'm gonna second wind. But I will pass.
At the end of your turn, Telemachus, if you wish to, you can roll a hit dice to heal.
Oh,
You are in the
well,
hot springs.
I did heal 8 for my second wind, so I will. I do with my second wind. What does that look like? Oh, I think there's just like a little bit of like radiant aura that's coming, like that I grasp within the water and like just imbue with myself as I feel refreshed at the end of my turn and get back to full.
Couple notes on from 2024 moving around other characters. During your move, you can pass through the space of an ally, a creature that has an incapacitated condition, a tiny creature, or a creature that's at least 2 sizes bigger than you. Another creature's size space is difficult terrain for you unless that creature is tiny or your ally. So allies you can freely pass
Ooh.
through.
Nice.
sweet.
Okay.
Remember.
With that being known, actually, could I 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30? Can I do that?
So getting from here to here would be like hopping down
That's fine. I don't mind doing like a jump.
down the stairs.
Let's skip and a hop. I think we need
A
to
jump
lure
and a
it out of
skip.
the spring, I say as I run away.
All right.
'Cause I think it'll heal if it's in the water.
Heal, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hi, Promobi.
Does anyone have like a chill hand?
Oh, chill touch. Yeah, interesting. I wish. I don't think I have anything like that. That would have been cool, though. Agreed. Keep it out of the spring. Lure it. And I will use my final remaining Clouds Jaunt to teleport 30 feet this way. But because there's such a significant drop, let's say I have to move at least 5 feet toward the edge, then probably teleport 20 feet to get even here and add a little bit of extra here. So teleporting there with my bonus action, and then I'll continue to use the rest of my movement to like flee this way.
So let's see, 5, then 20 to get down.
And I can teleport up to 30 with that bonus action Cloud Jaunt.
So that's gonna cover you getting down. So you probably have like 5 feet of movement left.
Yeah, and I'll stop. I'll post up right here.
Okay.
And
Movement.
then with my action, I will Mutter incantation, channel my blade. Prismatic light surges, tries to fight its way out of the Vantablack form, and I will swing my sword in the air, shearing loose a blast of fickle and unpredictable energy, which will fly past it.
Quite fickle.
Yep, a 9 misses, unfortunately. Maybe it slams into the waterfall right beside this creature, but does not hit it.
Yeah, flavor-wise, I'll say I didn't intend for this to happen, but it changes colors and it's like refracting all different colors in its travel, this course of crescent of energy. And when it impacted the waterfall, it ended in a blue light, and you see part of the waterfall freeze in place, but then immediately break apart and wash down. But just like the impact was cold that time, we'll say. Pure flavor.
Nice. All right, anything else?
That'll do it.
Moritaba.
Yeah, I'll give this a nice little drive-by. As I run like this, I will stab at it with my Tempestus Spear.
+1 to attack or damage?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking damage. And I'm gonna try just a normal strike, because I do lose a 1 chance to hit if I make it my cantrip. So, just a normal spear strike with extra damage if I hit. 14 to hit.
It beats it.
Ooh, very nice.
Very good.
Alright, and then two-handed, so 7 plus 1, 8 piercing damage.
Piercing damage. All right.
As I run by it,
You sap it.
I sap it, so it has disadvantage on its next attack roll. And
Next attack.
yeah, attack roll before the start of my next turn. And then I am kind of interested in just, I've got 10 feet of movement left, just kind of plopping here on the ground and risking the jump effects, or the falling effects of jumping that far. And that'll probably be where
Sorry, you're gonna try to jump?
yeah, so I'm just kind of dropping from the high elevation down to here.
Make a dexterity saving throw. Be a lot on this one because it'd be damage and prone if you fail it. 10.
Is that a fail? Because I am willing to use a heroic inspiration.
Oh, we all have one of those, don't we?
Yeah.
I believe we all have one.
Oh,
And
hang on,
feels
hang
like
on,
I'm
hang
gonna
on,
give you.
hang on.
What?
I get to re-roll it, but it doesn't say I get to know the outcome, and I must
For
also
heroic?
re-roll.
Oh.
Okay.
You can expend it to re-roll any die immediately after rolling it. Yeah, it doesn't clarify you get to know the result first. That's fun.
I get these so frequently as a human that I'm willing to use it right now and try again.
Okay.
And it was worse.
Giving an inspiration.
But does it say you have to use the new one,
Yeah,
or
it
is it
does.
whichever one?
Yeah.
Okay.
You
So
must
then
use
this
the
is gonna
re-roll.
be
Whoa.
damage. I'm giving you damage and prone condition on this
Yeah.
one. You definitely spin out here and crash land. 20 feet would be 2d6, and then the prone condition. I'll let you. You want me to roll the damage, or you want to roll it?
For it.
All right, here you go.
Nice.
4 damage, not bad.
Alright, you see kind of the breathiness that has suffused Moritaba start to fade a little as that eats through some of my temps. And I am
Whoa.
prone.
I can't believe you have to use the new one, even if it's lower.
Must use the new roll.
Yeah.
Alright.
I think it's meant to be not as good as advantage. I think that's the intent. And so I guess that incentivizes you to not use it when you aren't where you're like, am I near the threshold? Am I not? It's like, oh no, I rolled a 3 or a 4. I'm gonna use it.
it's a gamble essentially. Yeah. Gameplay.
Anything else
I
for
think
you?
that's fun.
I am done for my turn. Oh,
Sweet.
no, I don't have enough movement to stand back up, so
I was wondering about
I
that.
I had 5 feet left, so not enough.
Take athlete,
So-
then you could jump up with 5 feet.
Three-headed cursed monkey's turn. It is doing 3 things with its action. It's got multi-attack, but it can use its multi-attack for a variety of different things. First thing it's going to do is send one of its creeping tentacle arms at Moritaba. It's got range on these attacks, so it doesn't need to leave the stream to attack Moritaba. And it has disadvantage, but you're prone, so it's going to cancel out, so it'll just be a normal
They
roll
are
for
not
this.
within 5 feet of me, so prone does not give advantage. They would need to move closer to take advantage of the prone condition.
Wow, that's a thing.
Attack roll against
Cool.
you has advantage if the attacker is within 5 feet of you. Otherwise, it has disadvantage.
Wow.
Interesting.
That
Okay.
also clarifies, I think, the archery range rule is
So you
it's
can
like it
get
doesn't
up
impose
close and it would
disadvantage
cancel
per
out.
se. Yeah, interesting.
Mm.
Wait,
Okay.
is that new?
No, I don't think so. I think it is
Okay.
all typically been 5 feet, but I could. be
Oh,
wrong
I
about
see
that.
what you're saying. I got it.
So it
Alright,
definitely
so
can
then
still
he will
walk
be
towards
rolling.
me, but
Advantage if within 5 feet of you. Otherwise,
have
it
to leave
has
the
disadvantage.
pool.
Fun.
You know what? It's got movement, so it's going to do it. It is going to move up to you to smack you,
it's just what I want.
but it's still going to be rolling
I
normally.
wish he was closer
Normal
though. So we
with
could
the
swing.
disadvantage I imposed canceled out. Very cool.
Oh my gosh, how did it roll with advantage? I'm rolling it again. Sorry about
Totally
this.
fine.
Why did it? No, normal. Okay.
22
Woof.
okay.
For 10 damage.
10 damage. I resist none of that. You see the last of Moritaba's magical breath leave him as that gets through the rest of my temps and into my flesh.
Oh, I thought you were like down.
Yeah, I thought you were down too. I was like, wait a minute, what?
I had
Then it
9
is-
HP.
9, okay. It is going to use its Cursed Gaze on Moby specifically.
Is that a whiz save I need to make?
What's your crucible doing for you?
Wisdom saving throw, yes indeed.
My crucible is on the defensive bubble flame setting, so I'll get a +1 to this roll. I also might consider heroic inspiration on this, so don't clarify the result right away. But whiz save?
Yes.
It's funny because we're gonna hang on to Inspo so much less than in OG Aerodon because you're
I'm
really
going to
incentivized
use
to-
heroic inspiration
Yeah,
on
so
that.
this is a very clear.
3
cut.
might succeed.
Wait, Tim, you didn't clarify if 3 fails yet, did you?
It is 12 total on the whiz save.
Oh, well, a 12 unfortunately also fails, so I need you to roll a d10 for me, please.
Boy.
Wait, tell
Oh.
him. Is it better, high, worse, or better?
Yeah, did I just hurt myself more?
Bigger is worse, I'll tell you. But this isn't the worst possible outcome. This is its blinding gaze. The target is blinded until the start of the cursed primate's next turn. A blinded creature can't see and automatically fails any ability check that requires sight. Attack rolls against the creature have advantage, and the creature's attack rolls have a disadvantage.
That's so full
You are blinded for just a turn, though.
Okay.
With its last part of its action, the cursed primate will step back into the stream, and you see its third head start to like drink the water from the stream, and like fills up its entire mouth, and then it sees its ally over here, and it launches a kind of jet of water across the map towards its slain ally. It does have to roll to see if it hits.
And I'm gonna
Dude.
stab at it as it left my reach, but it'll be disadvantage.
You can do so. You want to do that first?
Sure.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, because it might impose sap. On
I
this
love
roll it
that.
makes.
I love that. So I'm gonna improve my chance to hit with the Tempestus.
Nice.
Disadvantage here means a 20 to hit.
It does hit.
And then still two-handed, so 6 piercing damage.
Should we
sap.
confirm? Should we confirm whether sap applies since you just did it so recently? Like, is it you can only do it once on your turn, but as a reaction that is refreshed?
So all that sap says, and we'll check the mastery stuff. All that sap says is if you hit a creature with a spear, they have disadvantage on their next attack roll before the start of their next turn. And then weapon mastery doesn't say anything there. I will pull that up here and verify.
Because it doesn't. You're not incentivized to keep hitting this. If you had multi-attack, keep hitting the same enemy because you're kind of wasting.
Made use of that.
But since it's already made use of it, yeah, this could be really cool.
So, okay, weapon mastery.
As long as it doesn't say only on your turn or something like that.
Each weapon has a property. That's what the property is. I'm seeing nothing about amount of time.
I don't think so.
I think it's whenever the weapon hits.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's because this is a new, because it's gone and used it.
It's already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So,
disadvantage on its
next
water
Disadvantage.
gun roll.
It's water squirt attack that I was trying here. I'm gonna roll it twice because it's gonna be based on its dexterity, not its normal attack modifier. A little bit less likely for this to happen. So here's roll number 1, and roll number 2. A 6 is going to miss.
Let's go. That's awesome.
So the water splashes and it kind of pools and kind of runs down the steps here, but it did not get a chance to revive its ally, and that is its turn.
Cool. Hell yeah, Moritaba.
Yeah, that was pretty cool, Moritaba. Coakley, it is your turn.
Oh, sweet.
Step
Oh,
on.
I'm sorry. It also heals on the end of its turn, by the way. A undisclosed amount of health is regained as wounds are knit back together. Go ahead, Coakley.
Does Sorrel start talking to me?
Oh, we never resolved whose will bested the other. So I'm gonna have you roll a charisma check for me.
Beautiful. Glorious. Beautiful.
Oh, nice.
Do you like try to give it commands? How does this? What are you trying to do?
I think what happens is as I've been like practicing just like hitting this dead monkey on the ground with like random like strikes and like different spots. As soon as I realize this combat is happening, which probably happens like after the water splashes next to me, which is why I rolled a natural 1 on this initiative. I imagine Coakley realizes that instead of speaking out loud to Sorrel, the conversation can probably just happen faster in Coakley's head in whatever like robot like processing language is happening. So I imagine the following conversation just happens in like a half a second as Coakley is running down the stairs, but it's basically just Coakley trying to decide like, no, we should do this. No, we should do this. No, I think this would be the best course of action. And just like back and forth, until I finally get there and I don't know what to do, and I will just do whatever Sorrel tells me to do.
So you get a vision in your mind of not running down the stairs, and instead you get a vision of you smacking this body, and like lifting it. You can kind of see it. The staff kind of extends as it kind of lifts it and launches it up over this cliff face, and kind of off the screen using kind of the push feature weapon property.
I imagine I make it halfway down the stairs, and then I turn back around. I'm like, oh, okay, that makes more sense. And I will attempt a cantilever trebuchet motion with the the staff against the corpse.
All right, make your attack. It
Quattro.
is prone, I suppose, so you do have advantage on this.
Sack of meat.
Yeah.
I'll take a nat 20.
boy.
20.
Okay. Oh yeah, you like. I'm imagine like golf almost. You like golf swing this thing, and like the like staff kind of like grows like an extra kind of like
That's what I was
foot or boot to it.
It turns into like a field hockey stick, and I imagine like I
Yeah.
hook part of it, and I just like.
And this thing gets tossed off the map. And we no longer have to worry about
Hell yeah.
survival of the dead body. You kind of also do a lot of damage to this corpse. It is like kind of not really a monkey anymore. It's kind of just like pieces of meat, I suppose.
Pieces of meat. At a later level, Coakley would have quipped something about not being able to use Speak with Dead on this corpse anymore. That likely, I'll say that we used I'll move like 5 feet forward, but that my bonus action, I can't throw anything. That'll be my turn.
Jan is gonna kind of move slowly to over here, and he's gonna call out to you all. He's gonna say, use his action to kind of describe a battle plan, but he says, "Get it out of the water, and I shall cast my sortilege to prevent it from returning." And you see him
Well spelled.
readying an action. He breathes out the sortilege, and he's got it ready and prepared to cast. Jay retreats and hangs out with the Kieran. Telemachus, you are up.
I want to shoot it in the face with my bow.
Seems fair.
All right.
Which phase?
The one that just gargled a bunch of my Kierankin's water. So actually, you know what? I will
Dude, it looks so cool. Did you Google like 3-headed demigorgon or something?
No,
So cool looking.
I photoshopped the left head and I mirrored it and I just put it on the
gotcha.
other
Yeah, I
side.
see that now. It's really well done. That it looks so sick.
I will. Jeez, it is really sweet. Instead of attacking, well, he has an idea. Okay. I don't have a height thing. All right. I draw my bow, aim, shoot.
Yeah.
No, you know what? I want to get in its face more than that. I'm gonna come down and strike at it. Actually, yeah, we'll do it. Come down and strike at it. I will use my Vex first. So, whichever one that is. Ooh, really good. Nat 17. So, I have advantage on my next attack against it, and that's 6 damage. So, Telemachus comes in. Flavor-wise, I hop over Toby or Moritaba and plunge my scimitar into its gut, and then swing over. Oh no, that was my short sword, and then swing over my scimitar, and we'll just do that with advantage then.
What was your attack roll on the first one? Sorry, I missed that.
It was Nat 17 plus 5, 22.
Okay. Certainly a hit.
We got another hit coming in here. 23 to hit, and then that was 7 damage with the scimitar.
All right.
2 quick swings. And then I am going to step back.
Yeah, this is the shitty part of being top
All right.
initiative is you're the first one who will probably get the opportunity attack.
Honestly, I thought this last combat, I want him targeting me. because I resist half
Okay.
of it. I keep wanting to cast Blade Ward, but I don't want to waste my action.
This time you are gonna get the baboon bite attack. I'm gonna make sure it's normal, right? There's no reason it would be advantage or disadvantage. Okay.
Correct.
I don't want to have to roll twice. Here it is. 22. You also must make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh. What if I just make it? Oh God. I rolled an 8 plus 0. All heroic inspiration.
Yeah, I mean, this is already
I rolled
showing you
worse.
the outcome.
I rolled
Worse.
6.
None of our heroics have worked so far.
Dude, it's
Yeah,
law
that's
that if
not
I
good.
make a whiz save, it has to be horrible. That
All
fails.
right, you are taking 5 damage. No, well, hold on. You're taking 3 damage, I believe. And then, would you like to roll the d6?
Oh, you know it. I rolled a 4.
You are now deaf, and this is unlike his gaze. This is you are deaf.
Oh. I say,
Oh boy.
what? I hit you and you had nothing to say about it? Okay. And then I walk back. And that's my turn.
You see all of us screaming, and it's all silent. And he's like, no one has much to say.
I go, bliss.
Moritava starts doing sign language at you to coordinate.
Like,
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Can't read it.
Ibramobi.
I am currently blind, trying to shake from that phenomenon, but I can still hear it thrashing about. So I will continue to move away from it, slowly feeling my way slowly away. And to offset my only feature that I haven't used today yet, to offset my lackluster attempt at accurately locating this, I will just surge with power to enhance the chaotic nature of my magic. So I will trigger my innate sorcery as a bonus action. So full Shadow of Moil, not quite Shadow of Moil. I don't literally gain those benefits, but I begin to burst with Vanta Black flame that licks up from my arm through my scepter and sword staff all across my body. And I am just this avatar of darkness. And then I will use my spell, the same spell, Sorcerer's Slash, to channel magic in, swing my sword. And that should normally grant me advantage, which will cancel out the disadvantage of blind. So I think just a straight roll for Sorcerer's Slash.
Yeah, you're kind of just going based on hearing of this thing kind of stomping around in the water.
21 to hit.
Ooh, oh yeah.
And then as usual, I'm going to roll a d8 to see which damage happened.
To anything but one.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 psychic damage to the creature.
All right. It is neither weak nor resistant to that. It just hits satisfyingly. 6 damage.
Perfect. That'll do it for my turn.
Moritaba, you're up.
Alright, so I spend half my movement to get up.
Hmm.
And then we are going to jump in for an attack with 5 feet to stab at this fool. This time I'm going to do my cantrip, and I'm going to put the Tempestus Spear's power into the damage. So potentially bad outcome, but I get a crit.
Wow.
So that is
14, 15.
14 plus 1, 15 radiant damage.
Dang,
as
okay.
I just kind of like get in close and then kind of do like a yanking slice on like one of its tentacles, and just really lay into it. And then I've got 10 feet of movement left, and I'm gonna back up near my buddy Telemachus. And that'll be.
And you're not
It
prone
wants
anymore.
to make an opportunity attack against you, but can't.
Yeah, I'm not seeing the little thing where I can maneuver my
Rotate it.
rotation.
Oh, sorry, I got you.
Typically. Oh, no,
I always do that
it's
just,
there. It's- I
so,
found it. It used to be like a
okay.
line thing, but now it's on that blue dot.
I always do that to show prone condition, so.
Oh, and now I can. Conditions unchecked.
Alright, sweet. Anything else, Moritaba?
No, that's it for me.
Alright. At the start of its turn, Moby, you are no longer blinded.
Hell yeah.
It's gonna step up out of the spring. Almost completely out of the spring. You hear Jan say, "A little more! Pull it out! Just a little bit farther!" And then it is going to make an opportunity attack, or not opportunity, a regular multi-attack. One against...
Source of disadvantage to start the series of attacks, but then that'll be it.
Okay, it's going to have disadvantage against you, because it's attacking you first, and then Telemachus, with its attack features at least. It's going to take one baboon bite against you, Moritaba, with disadvantage.
That'll still
An
hit.
18. Make a wisdom saving throw.
We love a big -1.
Ooh, does it? This is just a question, and maybe I don't even get to know this, but its tentacles obviously have reach. Does its baboon bite? Does it need to close the distance with Toby or Moritaba?
Thank you very much. You are correct. It will need to
Yes.
step one more feet forward. Okay.
Good catch. And then all the way to 6. So I'm also deaf, like my good friend.
Neither of you can hear. Tentacle attack going towards Telemachus. Should be a normal attack unless there's anything Telemachus for you.
I
Okay.
could do nothing. Oh, I fended off.
11.
I can't hear, but I see and
Alright.
slap it away with a sword.
Hold up. Has advantage against targets that are deafened.
Oh my god.
I thought I saw that at some point.
So it is going to roll one more time against you. I rolled the wrong one. A 19.
It's
For, whoa, 1 damage.
Yeah, that's insane.
Dang. It just lightly slaps you a little bit. It's going to use its Cursed Gaze on Moby once again.
Was save.
Whiz save.
hey, at least you don't have
Nat
inspiration.
20.
Dude, we're getting 20s like crazy.
Okay. No effect to you.
And then as
I just feel the bubble flames like buoy up in front of my face, and it just feels like they're physically defending me from its cursed energy.
Sweet. I will give you advantage on the next time it tries to curse you.
Fuck yeah.
Because of that 20. If it should ever do so again. However, Jan notices that this creature can't move any farther away from the stream, as this creature turns back to get back into the water, Jan has to make a decision, and he will cast and let loose his sortilege, and a wall appears, springing up out of the ground
Oh, sweet.
from this side all the way to this side. A wall of stone erupts out of the ground.
I was
However,
gonna
that
use
is going to
Hell Trap.
push the cursed monkey towards Moritaba and Telemachus. So we'll deal with that in a second once I draw a little wall of stone. Rectangle, like right here. Oops. Like that, like this. boom, up out of the ground, shoving the creature this direction. And I'm going to need Telemachus and Moritaba to make dexterity saving throws.
Oh yeah.
I didn't see that.
Oh, yep.
Bruh. 16.
So, Telemachus, you're going to take half damage and not be knocked prone. Moritaba, you will once again be knocked prone.
My favorite.
Wrong boy.
7 damage to you. Half of that, 3 to Telemachus. And you guys are both pushed back 5 feet.
Owie.
However, now that it is unable to get back to the spring, you do notice that this creature is bloodied.
Hell yeah.
Stokely, you are up. You see a large kind of stone wall emerge out of the ground, kind of separating you, at least from the southern route to this creature.
Is it so? I know this is like the top of the waterfall here. Is it?
Yeah.
Is the wall like even with the ground at the top of the waterfall?
Yeah, so you could like walk right across this.
Oh
Yeah.
shit, that's cool.
I am going to. Do.
10 foot
I want to go.
tall.
I want to go this way, and then this thing is. Wait, the monster's 10 foot tall?
The wall of stone.
Oh,
No, the wall is 20 feet tall.
20 feet.
if I end just on the other side of the wall, can I reach and bonk, or do I have to go down?
You can, yeah, we've established that you can reach and bonk from the
Oh,
top there. It's
okay,
tall
yes,
enough.
yes. So I will take that route, and I will hop over the waterfall. Let me know if I need a dex check for that.
I do want a charisma check to see who's in charge right now, you or Sorrel.
Sorry, I meant to do that first.
Nat 20.
7.
Alright, let's see what it's going to suggest to you. Uh-oh, I lost my... Let me find them again. Ooh.
I'm up in this guy's business.
It is. It wants you to use the topple condition. It wants you to reach down and kind of trip it by extending this pole, your quarterstaff. It can extend itself like a telescope almost. And it wants you to trip up its feet with your attack.
It what?
Oh. This is
Model?
like young Goku's staff in
Yeah.
original Dragon Ball. Yeah.
Essentially.
I will try to bargain with it, and I'll try and like make it into a pole vault thing as I use the pole vault to get over the waterfall, and then I want to come down and like do a sweep
Ooh.
down at the feet.
Nice.
And I imagine it's like a pole vault pole where it's like long enough and whimsy. I think you said whimsy, and I was like, yeah, it's a whimsy pole. And I will make my attack. 21 to hit.
It'd be so fun to name a weapon Whimsy.
Oh, yeah.
1 hits.
Wait. So this is it a +2 for following its directions, or
Yes, it is.
so not. Wait, I have to re-roll this because I have to.
Okay, savage attack. I keep forgetting.
So that actually goes up to 10 total bludgeoning damage.
Ooh, nice. Smack its knees or its feet, I guess. Of its toe.
And then I will. What am I gonna do? Oh, I know what I'm gonna do. There's a move that like kung fu dudes do where they're holding a pole and they
Like stand
hold it
on
with
it.
one arm and they stand on it at an
Yeah.
angle, like
Oh,
sideways. So I'm gonna do that with the pole, and I'm just gonna use one of my can I call them focus points? One of my focus points to hold on with one and then just like punch down twice at his heads. So I'll use focus point and do 2 unarmed strikes as a bonus action.
Oh, did he have to fall
Yeah, was
prone
there
or
attempt
succeed on a
at
thing?
Oh.
toppling?
Yeah. So let's take care of that first. 'Cause I think it's a con save. Let's see.
Con
Con
save,
save.
DC 8
DC
plus ability
8.
plus proficiency.
So your dex, I suppose. Whatever your like dex
So-
save DC is.
13?
Oh, it tells me it's 8 plus proficiency plus my strength.
Should be dex.
Or use strength.
Use dex.
Well,
It's a monk weapon.
I use. Hold
Yeah.
on, sorry. I think it's dex. It doesn't say specifically in my sheet, but
The topple mastery says the ability you use to make the attack roll.
would be dex.
So
There
should
you
be
go.
13?
14.
14.
14. Ooh. Yeah. He does not get knocked prone.
We don't need to push him anywhere because he's already out of the water. Okay, then yes, I will hold on to the pole, lean down, and do two little punches onto his head. The first one, 19, 96 for 6 bludgeoning, and the second punch, 17
Jeez.
for 9 bludgeoning. So 15 more bludgeoning on top of the
Holy snap.
10.
Yeah, this thing is looking pretty beat up.
Triple monks, man.
Yeah. Triple attack.
Well, I'll get you a short sword and a scimitar, and you have 4.
I don't know what that means. I said yeah really fast, like I knew what you were talking about.
If he got access to weapon masteries, which he might not right away.
I don't think I
But
have
yeah.
access to them. Anyway, so I am hanging off of the pole, like I'm leaning up against the wall of stone, directly above this thing. End of turn.
Jan seems to be concentrating on a spell. Jay's doing nothing. Telemachus, you're up.
So
Top of
this
the
big
myth.
monkey is sharing a space with me right now. What's going on?
Oh, you were
Yeah,
supposed to
you were
I don't-
pushed
I don't
back.
think you moved.
Oh, okay. Is this regular terrain here that I'm like hanging out against?
Regular terrain, and then you're kind of right up against the valley wall. So like the
Okay.
edge of the map, there is like rock because you guys are kind of like in a valley.
Can I get over here and flank with my buddy?
Easy peasy.
You can go around it. Flanking, is this part of 2024? Did we establish that?
Oh,
It
we
is
never.
not in
So I guess
2024.
that's a choice that DMs can choose to make, but it's not baked into the rules.
Correct. For
You don't have to make
reference,
your
I
choice
will
right
not be indulging in flanking when we pick back up Aridon eventually.
Indulging.
Let's enjoy it while it lasts then.
It's
So
like
yes,
you
I'll give you
indulge
flanking.
for one last hurrah.
Yep.
Sweet. It's funny because that means my Vex property is not necessary, but I'm gonna swing with my short sword at this guy. Or I don't know if I need to be establishing which one first. But anyway.
If flanking gets rid of Vex usage, that's kind of lame.
Yeah, I think they introduced enough advantage sources with the new rules
That you don't
makes
need it.
sense.
Yeah.
It is sad to see.
I'll give it to you. Just 'cause it's a
20.
big.
Oh, I didn't even roll with advantage. I rolled 11s both times. 20 or 16 to hit for 8 damage. So Telemachus, yeah, I guess so I pat Moritaba on the head. Good luck, buddy. And then I rush away, and as I go, I carve into its legs with my scimitar, for that 8 damage. And then I will, once I get my positioning, I'll put a hoof against the wall and shove up off into it, and use another attack with a 19 to hit for 6 damage with my short sword and plunge it into its guts. Let me hear again.
Thing is not looking good.
And then I will land where I am, and then I need to like pick some consistent forms of this magic because I haven't yet, but I will do another second wind. And what that looks like is just like prismatic dust kind of erupts out of my fur for a second, and I will heal up. And that's my turn.
I do have sight this time around, and
Yes, you
I
do.
will continue backing up just to give myself space. Innate sorcery is still active, imbuing me with enhanced power, and I will just simply use my same cantrip spell, sorcerer slash imbue power into my sword staff, swing it through the air, and a prismatic crescent of light and energy rockets toward the creature. This time should be at true advantage. Uh, 23 to hit, and then I'll roll my rando dice.
I find it strange
Four.
that 20 blocks off the first one and then shows
I
the
know.
other 6, but
Yeah,
It is very
it is
odd.
confusing.
It is weird, but we'll say 2. So the second option, so cold, so 4 cold damage to the creature.
Sure. Neither resistant nor vulnerable to that damage source. Seems to just hit it normally.
Okay, nothing with my bonus action, so that's my turn.
Right, it is not looking great. Moritaba, you're up. This creature is battered. It's got stab wounds in it. It's got ice blasts in it. It's been kicked, punched.
so I believe functionally, I'll basically only have about 15 feet of movement because I'm going to spend 15 to get up. But as I kind of do that, you're going to see I'm going to start with a bonus action and kind of steel myself and take in a sharp breath as I activate my second wind.
Nice.
Because I got 1 back with a short rest. Ooh, yikes, but that's alright. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to kind of like roll under it 1 and then take that opportunity to get on a knee and just stab up at this thing as hard as I possibly can before I make my way out of its space. Because I think, if I remember what we said earlier,
Your size is
its
larger.
size is bigger, which should
Yep.
mean I can
Yeah.
move through it at difficult terrain.
Yep,
Correct,
difficult
it is
terrain.
difficult terrain. Yep.
So those 2
Hell
squares
yeah,
took
super
all 15 of my feet of movement. And I'm going to do the strongest attack I have access to. So, cantrip spear attack with the Tempestus aiding the image. Very nice.
Ooh, 20 hits.
So I do this, and then I do this again. So 9 radiant damage. Thank you, savage attacker.
How do you slay the beast?
What?
Yeah, so there's, I roll. I think I probably, what is the word? Counter. How do I capitalize off of Telemachus's like dragging along its legs and stuff, and it's kind of stumbling. And as I kind of roll into its space, I get a good angle where I just like at the base of its back, I just get a good angle where I stab up through there so deep into its form, and then yank with a big slice.
I like the idea that it's about to fall on you, so your final little bit of movement is jumping back out of the impact.
Dang. All right. Well, the three-headed cursed primate, cursed monkey, collapses to the ground, defeated once again. This time, it is not within the healing spring. You do not see any of its wounds starting to knit back up.
Oh yeah.
Once again, it is peaceful in our
I think
hot springs
Moritaba's
here.
not going to take any time. He's going to get out his short sword and decapitate all three heads.
I spit on its corpse while you do that.
Slice, slice, slice. You two aren't really hearing much, but Jan will say out loud, perhaps as we leave this place, we should bring its corpse with us and give it to the wind. We can find the edge of Selkirk. We can toss the corpse off. The Tempestus will take it far away from this place. Better that than leave it here.
Very well. Moritaba, please do as he asks. Moritaba, are you not listening to me? Moritaba!
I can't hear anything. I can't hear what you all are saying.
I go put my head in the spring to see if it clears my ears.
As you stick your head into the healing springs, does not allow you to hear anything, but it does knit any wounds that you might have. You can roll hit dice to heal yourself if you'd like to.
I'm not hurt, but I will rest in the springs and rest some more.
Jan, do you have any ideas for how we might cure our allies of this ailment?
Well,
Mine
what I
seems-
would have
when I
done.
lost sight, it seemed to be temporary, but
Yes. It seems as though two of them have been inflicted by some lingering effects of this curse. We should, like I said, toss this corpse, give it to the wind. But what I would have done is still had the sword away be to pray to Odros. Maybe on our way to the Valley of the Kings, we can stop by and maybe my aunt can help us with this. You will have to be the one to cast the sortilege, though.
very well. I suppose if the sortilege avails me of some measure of healing magics, perhaps I can put that to use with her blessing.
We will have to find another way to communicate with our allies here. And he kind of waves at Moritaba, taps you on the shoulder and is trying to show mime taking the corpse and throwing it.
I will take a moment and sign, and well, no, I don't need to sign. I can talk. I need to. Do you speak? Do you know how to use sign language, Jan?
He shakes his head no.
And perhaps what Moritaba will start doing from here on as he talks until this is resolved is he will complement with the signing to maybe get you guys a chance to pick up on some things here and there. But I acknowledge what he's indicating to me. And honestly, I think the best way to do this is to start taking it to smaller pieces. So maybe arms, legs, because I don't think we're gonna be very quick at moving this huge creature.
I will. Functionally, I don't know that this is going to do anything, but Hyperavel doesn't know the extents of the Curse Crusher's crucible. So I will walk to each of us that is intending to carry some piece of this curse, and I will just put a thumb and wipe it around the rim of the crucible and like put a crescent mark over the top of each of your foreheads that leaves just a little residue of bubble flame.
Nice.
To ward off whatever lingers in this spell.
Yeah.
I say to everyone that lets me do this, I say, this will protect you. And then I look at Jan and I sort of,
I don't know if this will do anything.
He seems to nod, like, sure, might as well, right?
But Morikawa will kind of grab like the torso and like the big chunk of this thing and start hauling it, and look to Jan for direction towards the nearest edge of Selkirk.
It's not far. It's north of here.
I look at him and I go,
I point.
And he indicates that there is a path off kind of to the side here, kind of like or no, sorry, where is it? Oh, this way, up towards the cave of the Kirin. He's going to bring you all in that direction, and it will exit out to the kind of other side. You can kind of imagine there's a mountain or like a larger hill structure here higher up. This cave will exit out to the other side, where you'll be at kind of like the coast. Describing it that way, I suppose. There'll be a sand, and then there is nothing but air as far as you can see. Sky kind of ahead of you.
Yuck.
Shut
I will throw things, and for any who aren't strong enough to throw things, I will make return trips and take care of this.
Yeah, I have an 8 strength. I don't know how much I can do with that, but
It's fine. I'll indicate to you guys, to myself, Coakley, and Telemachus, and Jan, and Jay, Moritaba will take care of it.
I'm in
Uh-oh.
full like cantilever mode, and I'm just like starting to move pieces with the
that's fine.
stick.
did the Kieran
So with the two of you, yeah, the Kieran, if you recall, he like merged with the spring itself. His like
That's right.
body kind of like disintegrated and became part of the stream, which gave it back its like healing properties. So Coakley and Moritaba, you guys are gonna take care of the corpse.
Yeah, probably make a few trips, and then Moritawa once
I'll sit
it
there
gets
chopping up the
finished,
pieces to help.
he's gonna plop in that spring, and I'm gonna sit here for an hour.
Yeah. When you get to the edge, kind of where the like when you give stuff to the wind is kind of like a known, I guess ritual would be a way to say it, more so just like something that is done, you know what I mean? It's basically like tossing something into this air, like it's basically a wall of air that like right at the edge of the Skyland, you can get right to the edge, and then it's just like air wall as air kind of rushes upwards, and so whenever you throw or toss anything into this,
Oh yeah, because
it
we're
just
falling
lifts it
constantly
off.
too.
You guys are
Yeah,
falling. Yeah, it just
Yeah.
goes away.
that's super cool.
And giving yourself to the wind is something that people do. It's almost like
Side.
putting your fate in the winds, right? Like who knows where the winds are gonna take you, right? Like some people might perish when you like hop into the wind like that, or others might be taken on a journey to another kingdom, right? And that's notably what happened in the story of young Jiri, is that he was given to the wind in Jaland when he started kind of his journey throughout the kingdom.
I guess, yeah, if you're at the bottom in Jaland, you probably got a better chance of rising up and getting somewhere.
Somewhere,
If
yeah.
you're on Selkirk, probably less likely.
Yes, far less likely. Yep. But it is kind of like a last resort ditch effort. You know what I mean? If you needed to escape a skyland, you could give yourself to the wind, and who knows where it would bring you. But corpse gone. I'll delete that off the map. Stone wall disintegrates, allowing the stream to flow naturally once again. And you guys are all interested in taking a long rest in the water.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll spend an hour here relaxing, bathing, the bubble flame. You guys can all hit the long rest button, and it's a good time for us to take a bio break if we would like to. Then continue from here.
Can I hear anything
I don't want to
after?
forget. I don't want to forget, so I'll tell.
You are still
Coakley-
deaf.
That's fine. But I'll go up to Coakley and I'll say, if you allow me to study that, I could tell you something about it. And I will ritual cast Identify during a long rest and be able to tell you about. Well, you already attuned it probably, but never mind.
I don't think I have, because I mean, not until after the short long rest.
She made a face.
Or what item?
I'm assuming he's talking about the staff.
Yeah.
Oh, the staff. Coakley, you will hear in your head, "Return, master." Kind of like in a demanding tone. You were not able to kind of command Sorrel as Jan had instructed. In both instances of you attempting to command it to do your bidding, Sorrel won out and indicated his will.
I will return it, and upon returning it to Jan, I will ask, the healing powers of this spring. Is this something that can be transported in a way? And I'll like gesture to like an empty water flask or water skin. What is it? Water skin that I have.
Got a blue potion.
Indeed, it is something that can, but not in any mundane type of vessel, such as the one that you have there. That can withhold the water of the spring, but Bubble Flame needs more substance. I'm sure your Kirinkin friend will know more about that. Their folk often use gemstones to carry along the healing powers of the spring from place to place.
I just dropped my telescope into my spell book into the spring. But actually, I couldn't have heard that.
Sure.
And then Jan will say to you, briefly before we jump to our bio break, Jan will say, Oakley, you need much more practice with this. Tomorrow, or maybe even this evening, I shall let you borrow Sorrel once again, and this time, I will instruct you more directly on how to use his power. Even though he was in control during this battle, I can see that there is a connection growing between the two of you. We shall try again, and this training will prepare you. Like I said, seek out Pyrrhus. You seem to have a natural knack for this.
Understood and much appreciated.
Should me and MK just have to mute you guys and like mute our computers until you tell us otherwise?
That's hilarious. I'll overhear you guys' conversation, and I'm just thinking back to, interesting, I wonder if Coakley will be well received in Pyrrhus as he's bonding to a weapon of the Alver that is famously more difficult. Will the people there be resentful of him or embrace him as a beacon of hope? Just a thought I have.
Interesting.
Bath time.
All right, bio break and long rest.
Hell yeah. All right, we gotta see if. Yeah, there he is. Look, it's Michael. Michael.
Hi, Ducky.
He say, "Hi, Michael. Michael." he was at the eating lunch, and I said, "Yeah, I'm talking to Uncle Michael." He said, "Michael, Michael, I want to see Michael, Michael." And here's other Uncle Michael,
Michael.
and here's Michael Steve. I think Michael is just the word for uncle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Michael Steve. That's Michael Michael, and that's Michael Michael.
Hey, little G.
Say
Hi.
miss you. Can you say miss you? Can you say miss
Oh my
you?
God.
Say miss you guys. Here, do you want to hear?
Hi, Ducky.
Hey, little G. What's up,
Michael
Declan?
just say hi.
He's like,
He
no,
didn't
I
leave
don't
the
like.
headphones on apparently. You say hi, miss you guys. You say miss you guys.
Oh my
He's
gosh, it's
Can
Declan.
you spray him? He's being really shy and bashful right now, which is funny because I think he's just not really understanding the computer setup, and also can't really hear you. So, but
My
he
gosh,
can say hi.
so
Okay.
cute.
Now go finish your
They
lunch.
were around last weekend for Memorial Day weekend, and Declan figured out that if he went like, we would go like we're getting hit by a beam, and he was just doing that nonstop.
Yeah. Little kids love that. Little like the Spider-Man spray, like.
Yeah. I was telling Tim about the beams that Declan would shoot at us.
Yeah, he loves being Buzz Lightyear, so he's always doing pew 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 pew.
Buzz Lightyear, yeah. Yeah, I've got a work buddy who's got a 4-year-old now. Who we were just at his birthday party the other day, and he still does Spider-Man at ya.
Hell yeah.
The web. And he says, what does he say? You go to jail. That's what he says when he sprays you.
It reminds me of the Parks and Rec thing. Straight to jail.
Yeah.
You're talking too loud, straight to jail. And then, what is it? You talk too quiet, funnily enough, also straight to jail. That is such a strange phenomenon to just have from you from birth, to see someone you know from hundreds of miles away. Like, we grew into that, so it's very weird to think of what it's like for a child to have never not known that as a possibility.
Well, even Ryan and I have talked about this because I'm. It's difficult, easier said than done, but I want to try and not be constantly on my phone around Declan because he's going to grow up in this world where everyone's just staring down at this thing and not looking up and outward. And it's just like, what
Dude.
a weird life they're starting to live. Like,
And you gotta be so careful about YouTube kids. Kids, like, that's like one of, like, our friends, and no judgment. Everybody has to parent differently. I don't have kids, but like, our friends, they just like plopped their kid in front of YouTube TV, and he just became like an iPad addict. And like, that amount of like color and dopamine and attention stuff at that age is so formative on your brain development. And I talk to my students about that all the time because I'm like, we're only just learning the implications medically for how our bodies are adapting to these technologies. So it's like, yeah, that's a super good thing to be aware of.
Yep.
And I was talking to Steve about it last night. Like, as an ADHD person, what my phone does for me is different than another person. And so like, I'm trying to be mindful of, I saw recently about how the body has 2 modes: output, essentially like energy and doing stuff, and then at rest when you need rest. But a screen doesn't give you rest. If you're doing a thing or like inputting or social media, like that's not at
Your
rest.
brain
So it's
is
like,
tricked into thinking that it's like
yeah.
a social thing or like a engaging thing.
And it
even
said
if
double
you're just
screens is
sitting
really
there.
bad. Anyway, I'm thinking about tech a lot lately. I can't stop. Steve knows. Tim, I feel like you got to have a lot of thoughts on this.
Yeah, I mean, out of what you guys said, that's definitely not good for kids. I mean, but like, I don't like. Is that what's the solution to that? Like, you like, are you gonna outlaw allowing people to like put an iPhone in front of their kid? Like, I don't know how you stop that.
This morning, I was thinking, I actually just wish generative AI was illegal, or like like firing people because their jobs can be replaced by AI. It's just like it should just be illegal. Like, why are we letting people die so technologies can function? Like, and that's the extreme version, but it's like I wish more people were arguing for the extreme version because you need that to like counterbalance the like, oh, but convenience is so good. Because like, anyway, I'll be done. Sorry, I know when I'm going to start monologuing about capitalism, and I feel it coming.
From adding fuel to this conversational engine.
Yeah, I definitely have many thoughts there.
All right, back to D&D maybe.
Yep.
All right, so long rest done. You've enjoyed the hot springs for an hour. You feel relaxed, rejuvenated, fully well rested. You still need to sleep, right? This evening, like a long rest at the hot springs won't prevent you from getting like exhaustion from staying up for 24 hours straight. But it definitely has revitalized physically, mentally, your spells, everything has been returned to you. Jan looks around and he says, well, how are you all feeling? Are you ready to continue onward?
Ready to fight a four-headed curse.
Hmm.
Does that just mean it has like no facial features because it's all forehead?
I like that that's a genuine laugh from Moby, but he's not used to it, so it's super awkward.
Well,
Shall we?
shall we away to the Quarry of Kings?
Working very hard to lip read. Moritan
Yeah,
would
I'm
be
just like honestly,
Quarry of
I'm just kind of like,
Kings.
Yeah, Telemachus, how are you handling not being able to hear?
surrendering any like concern for the situation. Like, we got some experts with us. I'm just gonna go into follow mode. Yeah, I don't really have much. I guess I
So,
would spend
More go with the flow than Telperion would have been, I feel like.
yeah, Telemachus is more prone to being go with the flow in particular. I guess I also would spend my long rest hour in the pool. Truthfully trying to commune with the Kieran in some meaningful way. Like, I haven't gotten to these springs very often, and if ever, I'm not really sure if this is the first one I've been to. I kind of, in my consciousness, it is. So I would just be meditating, I suppose. So we're ready to go.
Coakley, anything that you do while we're waiting in this hot springs?
Yeah. Now that you say it, can I have perception checks from the other three gentlemen?
Fun.
I'm gonna give myself disadvantage.
Yeah, what kind? Is it hearing or sight based?
It would definitely be sight based. So I would say the deafening wouldn't impact it too much.
18.
I'll go with my 12.
What did you roll, Mike?
18.
Oh. You do see at some point during like the short long rest hour that Coakley does kind of go off to the side of one of the pools. and you very clearly see that, like, Coakley's, like, not exoskeleton, but, like, Coakley's shell, trying to think of a good IP to compare this to. Up close, you've seen Coakley. There's no gaps in any of the thing. But as you see him, like, submerge on one side of it, you do see his shell, like, expand a little bit, and you do see some gaps in it where water does seep in. He only does it a couple of times, but then he just returns.
Um,
It's nothing crazy weird. It's just you see him, like, really submerge.
I say, "Wet robot," and stare at you and not really knowing what to make of your entire being. I actually do want to try an experiment though. So Telemachus would know you can't bottle up spring water for its good effect, right?
I would have shared that information on.
Yeah, probably.
I couldn't have learned that from you, so I'm just saying, would I know? But I would. I think I would.
Yeah, I think you know enough.
I actually do. Well, I get kind of bored after. Well, this isn't working. It's not doing anything. So I do want to dip my spell book in the waters. Because it's Kieran magic, and I just want to see if it does anything.
Infuse the gemstones with stormlight.
Literally, yeah.
Make a Arcana check for me, please.
Oh, I just rolled an 18. It can't be good. All right.
That's how probability works.
If it could, it is how it works because I rolled a 7 plus 5 is 12.
Yeah, so you know enough about your own kind to know like what devices they use to transport the healing power of the springs. They use kind of very similar to like what a geode would look like. It is a spherical kind of contraption or stone that is actually mined out of the ground. These geodes are capable of absorbing the power of the hot spring, storing them inside, and then they can be cracked open to utilize that magic. So a different type of gem than the gems that make up your spell focus here.
I do have like half of one of those. Like the amulet around my neck that I use for my healing hands is like I've described as a geode. But it wouldn't hold anything. But I would try to scoop some into it and see if anything. I mean, it would just probably slosh right out. But I'd also try that.
Yeah, it'll sit and it'll bubble there for a little bit, and you can tell that like this would be the type of material to use, but it's not contained, so it'll slowly, kind of like trying to pick up water in your hands, it'll slowly kind of flow out from this, and be lost and back into the spring itself. Certainly an area like a quarry would be a good place to look. You could theorize that maybe this Skyland could have that material, but it is definitely very prevalent on Ithaca, your hometown. But like each of the Skylands could potentially produce such a type of geode. It isn't kind of locked regionally to your home location.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet. I'm gonna be on the hunt for a rock.
Anything else anybody does over the hour? Obi Moritaba.
I feel like as you guys are all getting out, I've already, gotten out, dried off, got my gear all going. I'm almost impatiently eager to make our way.
I could lounge at this spring all day.
Such a bummer that we can't, though, right?
What?
You didn't hear your complaints.
All right. So you guys travel down the stream back into the Selkirk Forest. You pass the island where you rescued Shem from, and you head down to the last spot where you saw the dandelion and where you, from very far away, observed the statues.
I just love how massive this map is.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Dandelion not in sight right now. I know he's on the map. Here he is again. Actually, no, I like this image better, the dandelion. Hold on a second. Where is it? Here it is.
Yeah, that one's sick.
Oh my god.
No
they're so
sight
cute.
of the dandelion.
Imagine we try to kill that thing.
We recognized pretty immediately that it wasn't a creature we wanted to kill. Too cute.
Literally, yeah. Tim showed us that art, and I was like, "Oh, swords away."
Protect this thing at all costs. Yeah.
Exactly. I start
You find
scoping out
yourself
roads.
on the cliff edge here. Quite far away on the opposite side of the quarry here. You can see all the statues kind of carved into the rock wall here. Pretty large statues. The biggest of which is almost 100 feet tall by your estimate. Smallest of which is probably around 25 feet tall. So they're quite impressive works of art. Specifically, 3 of them have had their faces altered at some point. Almost like they've been blasted away. Like some type of either spell or explosion, or maybe somebody came up there with a pickaxe or a sledgehammer, climbed up to the top, and destroyed the faces of 3 of the statues. And weathering kind of tells you that one of them, the largest of which, was kind of chipped away, destroyed long ago. The one in the middle, maybe a little bit longer ago, and then the closest to you, the smallest one, most recently destroyed of the faces. So the weathering is clear enough to tell kind of the age at which these faces were destroyed. But all the statues kind of seem to be the same age in terms of when they were built.
And you said the largest one, which we assume and or even have confirmation of that it's Adras. He is one of the ones that has had his face, or no?
No.
Okay,
No.
he has not. Okay.
I will, let me see here.
I know I have 2 of them. I think it's the.
I had
Jin
some
of the
notes on it, but
Spine, who.
Oh, that's
his
right.
spine being sundered, probably they scratched out his face. Definitely Drakkar, and then I don't remember who the 3rd one was.
So I'll go through them again since you are here able to see them, but I won't give you the names until we go down.
For sure.
This was the largest.
Oh, I forgot.
Seemingly Adras. Yep.
Yep.
Then there was another one. Not as large, but still rather impressive. This one. This one. This one. So 4 of them, and then a 5th that had its face.
And that's the one we
chipped
think
away.
is the Ash Genasi originator Jin of the spine.
And that's what we theorized.
You did have a story about a Jin of the Ashkenazi who did wage war against Adras at one point. The ultimate kind of
Ash origin.
Yeah, the ultimate kind of ending point of that war was the destruction of the kingdom that was later created the spine. The Skylands separated apart into smaller pieces.
What's interesting to me about identifying, which ones had their face messed with, is like, who's doing the messing? Someone that's like on the side, the historians of Adras that revere him, and they're like, okay, fuck this Ganondorf guy who rebelled against us, and therefore we want to strike his face from the record. But that might not be the case with all of them. Maybe someone got up there and vandalized someone. Like it's who did the damaging is important.
How commonly known is the history of these Jin gods? Specifically,
Certainly
I don't know how
for
Telemachus would know.
because you would probably be aware of a little bit, but you would probably know more about the history of your Kirinkin people. Whereas somebody like Moby would probably know the most
The
of
true
it.
Moby probably knew the most, but Hyperivel
Oh, yeah,
Moby is
true.
like, I know this body was informed of a lot, but
And then probably the least, and then Moritaba maybe a little bit as
I'm
well.
hoping Moritaba had to take like his whatever test.
I think Moritaba could definitely tell you about the kingdoms, Adras, probably Jiri and Drakkar. The three cousins is probably where it would start getting foggy, and anything about this Ash Genasi Jin originer would probably be very new information that he's picking up on.
So the group as a whole may be lacking a little bit of historical context for what these statues symbolize.
This is what I'm calling it in my notes, is the Ash origin.
Oh my goodness.
Then there is a smaller statue, even smaller pair of statues over by the largest Adras. There's this one
Something that's
and this one.
and then that's Odros.
And then there are 5 teeny tiny ones.
Yep.
2 of them next to the female one. This guy here, face smashed in.
And we think that one was Drakkar.
And this guy.
Yeah, this guy.
And then
pointed this way,
3.
And then 3
Three
cousins.
separate
We think that
ones.
one's Jirobi, I'm guessing, because he was the warrior.
This one
Scholar,
face
probably
smashed in.
Gen 2.
Probably Gen 2.
Face smashed in.
And then,
And
our
then
boy,
the last one,
Jeb.
who's looking very similar to the person next to you. Maybe different clothing, right? But similar style of clothing, kind of robe, flowing.
Oh, Gen 2's face was scratched.
The one
I
we
missed that.
Yes,
theorizing
this was
This guy, okay.
face. And the one that is most recently been scratched off.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
This one
Maybe he went bad.
in between.
Yeah.
That's Drakkar.
Yeah. Or
Would we
we
know
might be making a
Drakkar's-
guesswork, but I think I also asked Jay which one's Drakkar, and I think he pointed to this one. So I think we have confirmation on that.
So
believe that's
Mike
what happened,
Jacoby
yes.
is biased against Drakkar because of Jiri. Would our histories know Drakkar is sus? We would, okay.
Understood
Great
that
question.
the reason he's in command of Jaland right now is because he overthrew Adras.
Oh, he's currently. I see. Okay,
He killed,
and Adras.
led a rebellion and killed, or just killed Adras, and then Jiri and eventually cousins at different times waged war against him and all sort of failed.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, you guys got it right. And then you would know that like the people of the neighboring kingdoms, like where you are all from, their lives haven't been too directly impacted by it. They were a little bit when historically you probably know that when Jirobi, when the three cousins attempted to take over or overthrow Drakkar, they did have the help of 3 of the kingdoms came to their aid, so they were affected a little bit in that defeat. But Jiri most notably kind of battled Drakkar on his own, independently. And since that last,
But had the support of all 4 kingdoms, right? Like he had all 4 kingdoms.
Acquired something.
he had required power from all
Okay.
4 kingdoms.
Okay. Okay.
And maybe this is where your knowledge of like the different rituals would come in. We mentioned how there are 3 different types of rituals.
Yep. Power healing
Um,
and
Jiri
other
most notably went through and did a ritual of power at each location to fuel his own abilities to take on Drakkar kind of one-on-one. Whereas Jirobi,
power.
Gentoo, Jebulus collected more of a balanced approach, gaining influence at each of the locations and binding each of the winds from 3 of the kingdoms to them,
Binding healing.
which allowed them to gain aid from each of the kingdoms, getting armies from them or troops, soldiers to help wage war against Drakkar.
And which is that's
I mean,
the
that's-
sword of legioness. Haka was the empowering one that I assume Jiri did. Umbra is healing. Sword of Laginus is binding the winds. So cool.
Sort of because
you
of the
have a
3,
little-
we gotta pick one, right? And this, I'm
We-
thinking
at
power.
least one has to do at the Ritual of Effervescence here on Selkirk tomorrow. So we do have to
Yeah.
identify as a group if we can. First of all, why do we care to even get involved? Which I will help clarify that momentarily. But also, like, why would you guys have a preference on one versus the other? I think that all needs to happen in conversation, like now, soon.
Yeah. And just because Jiri chose away like one of the specific rituals of effervescence doesn't mean that's like a bad option. Like because it didn't work for Jiri doesn't mean it won't work for us, right? I don't want to like
Yep.
necessarily say that. There could be other reasons why it was unsuccessful. Same thing with the sorolaginous approach. There could be other reasons why it was unsuccessful for the 3 cousins, other than like we shouldn't pick this option.
And the Ritual of Effervescence in general also is a ritual that is generally culturally conducted when every year or only when you're trying to bind a new wind, because that's part of the ritual here, is because the amber wind could connect and we want to bind the wind or connect with the wind with the ritual, or was the ritual already going to happen? Is there any cultural understanding we have at this point about like,
Yeah.
hey, do rituals of effervescence take place every solstice or that kind of deal?
You would, you would definitely know that. This upcoming ritual that's going to take place is like a planned one to take place, right? Because this new wind is kind of emerging, there is kind of this idea that like, okay, somebody should perform this ritual so as to link this new wind in some way, to allow it to combine with the winds here in Jaland. But any individual could perform a ritual of effervescence at any time
Okay.
if they
Okay.
were permitted by the spring, had like a reason to do so. So it's almost like a pilgrimage that somebody could go on. They could go and they could visit all of the different springs and perform these rituals to gain power or influence across the land. But they'd have to be like a notable individual, right? To even perform such a ritual requires some might, some strength in of itself, some magical essence, some importance for that individual.
That's a great answer. So, as we're staring at these statues, and you brought us to this map, but we haven't technically ventured down below before.
Yeah,
You've
so
just
I'll bring you. Yeah, this is kind of you guys seeing it from afar. You guys aren't down here yet, but that's kind of just like a vibe of what it's like. I will bring you guys back up to the top here, where you really are.
Well, Jan, I think some important conversations are in order. But before we get there, do you have any recommendation for how we should descend?
He kind of looks around the scenery. I am getting rather old, so we should look for the easiest way down. This climb looks rather treacherous. I have no specific advice Maybe there's a climber amongst us, or maybe we have some rope or some way of traveling down there. Maybe some flight magic. Maybe some of you are capable of that. I don't know your abilities, but we should descend as safely as possible. And then we should commune by the statues. I have one to visit myself.
And let us not forget, or Moritaba might not be saying the end. Let us not forget, we believe that the dandelion has made its den inside the cave there. Do you have advice on how to proceed? It seems rather agitated as a result of the curses.
A dandelion. Could be a dangerous creature. Do we have tools or a method of capturing this creature? Could we potentially bind it for some time and then release it once we are done with here, if you're saying it is violent and aggressive?
I'm doing my best to mime things to Moritaba of like rope. Tie up.
I'll deal with the dandelion. I have a spell.
Telemachus, do you need assistance?
If
I
my
don't have
spell
it.
works, we'd have a minute with it incapacitated. And if it worked again, we'd have another minute. So let's just deal with
Coakley,
that.
Do you have the Picto Obscura? Is that what it's called? Picto
Yes, it is. It's not really a
say I could-
camera. I may have described that incorrectly. It's more like a security camera that like works in one specific position. The way it was described is when you use it, it kind of sets in place the like position that it's looking at, and it will record all light that comes into that one location and display it on the screen on the monitor. It's a piece of glass, magic glass, it seems to you all.
Would it like float in air, or do we have to like put it on like a stand or a tripod or something?
Soon as you record its location, it'll continue to monitor until the time runs out. It's got an hour-long duration.
Oh,
And it said it had 6 charges, I believe, which to me implies choices need to be made. We can't get extensive pictures of each statue. Is there any important way we need it clarified on how it's storing these 6 charges? Like, if we're taking a picture and it holds it, do we have to go run that back to whoever and let them look at it and then come back here, back and forth? Or is it like, no, we can like almost swipe through 6 stored images it's recorded?
Yep, it's going to be able to store and record that information for you.
Cool.
At least that's how, what was her name? Piker
Asher?
described it to you.
Piker? Piker, yes.
Piker. Yep.
Piker, yep. And also, this device also has some way of communicating verbally to Piker as well.
That's right.
Oh, that's true.
Got a little, like, talk button on it. And you guys would know that, like, the Volt Genases are known for having this, like, crazy, like, futuristic technology that seems like magic to you guys. To all of you, it would just seem like, whoa, this is like some strange and bizarre Volt Genasi magical artifact.
Moritaba will use his 50-foot section of rope and maybe tying it off from here, and however far 50 feet goes, I don't know if that means it's going to actually get down into the base.
Don't you have mage hands, Crit?
I do. Yeah.
I'll hand a end of a rope to you, and I'll point far away. And could you tie that off far away?
I will.
Could make it easier for us to descend.
Yes. I will conjure a mage hand right next to my hand and hold the end of the rope with my mage hand. Not
You'll
sure
see
of
Moritaba was
how-
already reeling back in the rope, ready to tie off another section.
Well, we could do that too. Just tie them onto each other.
If
I was
what
thinking you
tied
could, like-
off doesn't get us far enough.
Yeah, so I guess when Moritaba starts this procedure and loops 50 foot of rope down the valley, the quarry, does it make it to the bottom or not quite? Because I guess some of those statues are super.
Let's say it makes it about halfway. This is a very large quarry, so you guys are probably about 100 feet from you down to the surface of the water. So each of these sections is probably like 30 feet, another 30 feet to this level down, and then another 30 feet. So somewhere between 190, and each of these kind of levels down is about 30 feet.
Okay, so with my mage hand, I will gently guide the rope over to Moritaba's hands.
And I will tie another section of rope so that we've got about 100 feet. And Moritaba will
Right.
start rappelling down.
Most direct route, straight shot, straight down. And you're just kind of climbing down, holding onto the rope.
I'll stand next to the base of where he tied it. I'm not particularly strong individual, but I'll supervise from here in case the rope were to fly off and I need to try and grab it.
Make you make 2 either athletics or acrobatics checks. One for this to climb down the first section of rope, one to climb down the second section of rope. Since you're doing so much climbing at once, it's gonna make you make the save twice to not potentially injure yourself.
Oh wait, hang on. Let me read my feature as a human. Whenever I finish a long rest, I gain heroic inspiration. So I am freshly restocked with my heroic inspiration.
Like, let me read
All
this
right.
to everybody.
22, I feel pretty good
Ooh.
about that. 23, even better.
For all of you also, for defeating the 3-headed cursed monkey and giving it to the wind specifically. So getting rid of the body, I will give you each heroic heroic inspiration. So Moritaba, I should say, you'll have 2 uses of this, but one of them is going to go away at the end of the session. Everybody else, if you used yours already, you're back to 1. Yeah, if you haven't used it, you're at 2, which will go down to 1 if you don't use it at the end of the session.
Hell yeah.
I'm going to stand at the top and hey everyone, I have an idea. Come here. One at a time. And who comes to me first between you or Crit or Steve?
And Moritaba, you are safely down at the bottom.
I make a little gesture at my little necklace, and I'm kind of and it's got like that vial shape to it, which is my spell focus. And a little cloud comes out of it, and I breathe in the cloud, and then I breathe it at Moby's face, and I give you guidance on acrobatics checks.
Cool.
Ooh.
And I'm gonna do that for each of us, and we can go one at a time.
Hell
All
yeah.
right, who's up next?
Being guided, I'll try and make my way down. I will for 1 minute. Is that worth it? I do think it's worth it to try this. It could be a waste, but it might avail me of a desperate attempt should I fail something. I'm gonna cast. You guys have seen me cast this before, but I'm gonna cast Jump on myself right before I start descending. My intent being there's some steam that sort of surrounds my legs and generally gives me a jumping speed. That's not going to help me jump down and slow my descent, but my thought is worst case scenario, if I miss a foothold and start to plummet, maybe I could plant my feet on a rock on the way down and try and push myself in a direction to like land on a subsequent tier and not fall all the way to the bottom potentially. But so I will cast that spell and then begin to descend. I have that spell active for only 1 minute.
Take me to athletics or acrobatics checks.
First acrobatics, and Telemachus, you want to hit me up with a D4 roll?
I got you. 3.
Only one of them will get a D4.
Oh yeah, is it my next check or all acrobatics checks
it's all.
in that duration?
You touch a willing creature and choose a skill until the spell. The creature adds 1d4 to any ability check using the chosen skill.
Very cool.
Wow.
Okay. So 21 plus D4, so then subsequent roll.
Is guidance only the next in 2014?
I think so.
Because it applies.
But it's,
Yeah, I think
it's
that's changed.
any. Yeah.
Oh.
10 on the second section plus
Plus 2.
Okay, I think I'll live with that 12 and see how scary that feels.
So for this last section with a 12, you're about 20 feet when you start to slip, like your hands, maybe you're getting a little sweaty, your hands slide a little bit, and you begin to plummet about halfway down. So you're falling the last kind of 20 feet of this rope.
Question.
Anything you want to do to slow yourself or prevent yourself from potentially taking some fall damage?
Yes, if the basin where the water is it shallower at the edges and deeper further toward the center a little bit at all? Or is it pretty
Yes.
universal? It is a little
Nope,
deeper toward the center?
Yeah, it's going to be like a normal kind of pondish situation here where it's deeper in the center.
So as I start to slip and I'm close to the wall and therefore close to the edges, I will plant my feet on the thing and push off 20 feet further inward than I would have otherwise fallen so that I could land on some deeper water and not smash into shallow ground.
Make another acrobatics or athletics check for me.
Plus 1.
12 again.
You're able to kind of safely splash into the water farther away, not taking any damage, but it was not a great dive. Maybe you do like a little
For
belly
sure.
flop or like a cannonball situation. You don't do a graceful swan dive.
Definitely not.
More of a goose dive.
I will reemerge from the water and my steam will fade, the jump spell having ended.
You've made it down without taking any damage, though, most importantly. Who's up next?
Oh, I changed
Is it
how I
just me left?
picture. I improved what? Yeah, Coakley's up next.
Is it-
I improved how I take it. So I got that little like vial, and I take a little crystal out, and I press it in and kind of crunch it in there, and then shake it up, and then I blow in the smoke that comes out. I blow it at Coakley. Ouch. Guidance on acrobatics. I'm guessing he won't.
I'm just imagining it's the episode of SpongeBob with bad breath where SpongeBob breathes at Patrick and it just hits his face and goes sideways because he doesn't have any nostrils.
Yes, that's funny.
I will I will try to dexterously make my way down this rope.
All right, well, 2 checks for me, please.
Acrobatics number 1, 13.
With
Plus?
Plus.
2.
15.
Okay. You're able to safely make it down the first section of the rope.
And this one's going to be a 19, so I don't need anything from you. Oh, wait,
It could be.
You guys do.
oh,
Damn it.
fine. 20.
Boo.
Second section, you are also able to make it down safely, Coakley. No accidents, no injuries. You don't need to jump off the wall or anything. You just slowly and mechanically work your way down this rope.
Do Jan and Jay need the help, the guidance, or are they so dexterous? They're just fine
Yep,
right
they're probably going to need it as well.
now? I give it to them.
We'll
Each in
send
turn.
Jan down first. All right. Let's see. Acrobatics for Jan. Alright, here is his first roll. Ooh.
Plus
3.
11 total.
11.
Yeah, Jan is going to start slipping and falling, but he gets a second check on the second part at disadvantage to try to catch himself and make it down the second half. Let's see what he gets for this.
Only a 1. Oh, hell yeah.
So it's 12.
12 total, better than his first one.
So he catches, you see him slip as he's going down the first section of rope. He's able to re-grab it, but slips a second time with the kind of momentum. Jan is quickly falling towards the end of the rope.
Moritamba!
I mean, I have been staring at them. I don't hear anything that Moby shouts at me. I will
That's true.
do my best to be there to cushion his fall in any way, willing to take some damage to lessen his impact, what have you.
Just putting your body in the way.
I know what I want him to do. I just need to read it real quick. On his way down.
Wall of stone.
No.
The answer for everything.
Just make a top, like,
Yeah,
crouching
pillar
in the
type.
wall. to stand
Oh,
above.
yeah.
No, he's gonna cast Wind Wall actually on his way down.
Yeah.
In his fall a little bit. He's gonna point the Wind Wall upwards. The Wind Wall does do damage though. I'm gonna give him a strength saving throw though.
Dude, yeah, roll better.
He's certainly going to take a little bit of damage on his way down. Let's see. Wolf. He takes a meaty hit on his way down. His wind wall kind of like pushes him back up. He's not able to grab back onto the rope, and he collapses down in the water, taking a sizable chunk of damage. He does get to his feet. He looks a little dazed. He'll kind of hold on to you, Moby, and say, "Oof, I was a little bit more dexterous in my youth. And a long time since I've tried to pull off that maneuver. Something I'm gonna need to practice in the future." His
Nobody
turn.
doesn't really say anything.
Jay's turn.
Aw.
He gets the blessing of guidance.
Better start
Guidance?
plus.
Plus.
Jay is gonna start sliding.
Okay.
However,
Hey.
Oh.
on the way down, and he is able to make it down safely. Whew.
My own rolls now?
What?
My own rolls now?
Now it's up
I
to
huff-
you.
I
He's
huff my
guiding
own.
himself.
Dust, yeah. 18 or 5, 7, 20, 30, 20.
First section successfully climbed.
And then 14 plus 19.
Second section successfully climbed. You get down to the bottom. The rope is tied up at the top, 100 feet away.
My cloven feet are helping me on the walls like a goat as I use I just one arm on the rope as I come down. Kind of running. Naruto run down.
Nice.
Jesus.
You guys leaving the rope there to get back up?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Should we set a god on the rope? We don't have any little minions, do we? Jay, why don't you just? Oh no, Jay's probably got something to do here.
Yes, I think it should remain a group effort toward the
I'm so
statues.
used to roulette though, having like a little like I'm expecting an Alfie to watch it for us. All right, but now that we're down here, my eyes are like, speaking of SpongeBob, you know when Patrick's eyes like glue to the ground and you can
Oh
see
my
how big
God.
that's what my eyes do as I'm looking for a geode to hold some spring water.
Specifically, Patrick looking at the treasure map.
Yeah.
Treasure map. Yeah.
I will let you make an investigation check as you guys are traveling. However, are we walking through this water in stealth? Are we trying to keep an eye out
Definitely
for the
quiet
Jaland?
steps so as to not alert a dandelion in the area.
All right, I'm gonna have to have you all make stealth checks as well.
Stealthies. Where? Yes, that one. The
Well, you
treasure map.
found that so fast.
Ooh, 11.
I might peek over to Telemachus and ask for some guidance on this stealth check.
Yeah, I'll guidance you. I didn't guidance myself. I won't do it all the time because it's kind of obnoxious, but it is kind of the best part of my first feat.
Oh, I don't need it
you
by
get a
too much.
you get a
But,
3.
Dude, 20 with disadvantage is really good.
I'm glad you got a 20 because I got an 11 with that.
Team.
Oof. Okay. You guys are trying to keep yourself from making too much noise, but it's difficult in the water here. Floor is kind of slippery, so you are making quite a lot of splashes as you continue forward. Telemachus, can I get your investigation check?
Yeah. Wait, should I wait till we're out of the water, or is this water seeming like a good place to be looking for geodes?
You might be looking all over the place. You might be looking at the walls. You might be looking in the water. I'm just imagining you're kind of investigating everywhere as you go.
Oh, Bryce, I rolled a 2. Oh, I want inspiration that.
Yeah.
What's worse than a 2? He rolls a 1. All right.
I was ready for it.
No, 19 nat plus 3, 22. This guy knows where rocks
right.
are.
This guy knows where rocks are.
Oh my god.
That's what they don't
You
tell you about
see
the OG
up ahead-
Telemachus from the Odyssey. He has a huge rock collection.
You see up ahead, kind of off to the side near where the statues are. I'm gonna say it's kind of like over in this corner. Right around
guys
there.
see- Deaf to your
You
pleas to
see-
stick with the party, I go straight at
Oh my
whatever Tim
God.
describes.
You see kind of like a dome, like a half circle, kind of sticking out of the quarry, a different color rock. Maybe that's how you were able to spot it. It's more of like a brownish color on the outside of this, whereas the rest of the rock in this quarry is more of a slate color. It's just a kind of a half circle sticking out of the wall, kind
I don't
of
know
wedged in there, so you do know that it's going to require a little bit of chiseling that might be pretty loud to extract. It is 20 feet up.
I point at Moritaba as we go, and I like try to call you to come with me.
I walk over. All right, here begins the incredible miming conversation that's about to ensue. I will do my
Right.
best to read your lips.
They're deer lips, so that might be hard.
You literally shouldn't say, I'm going to try and mime blah, 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 blah. You guys should literally mime it right here, and then MK announces, okay, so this is what I do.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna find what we just pointed at together up high, and I'm
And I
gonna
guidance
do my
athletics
best.
him.
I'm gonna do my best climbing attempt. I'm gonna climb up there and find the rock he was pointing at, and draw out. It's like it's not quite a dagger, but my short sword is like smaller than typical short swords. And I'm gonna like try and start prying at it. So I want to climb and then start crying at it to try and break this rock free that he pointed at to me.
Absolutely. Make me first an athletics or acrobatics check, and then I need a strength check to wedge this thing out.
I will specifically guidance your athletics as you climb up.
Doesn't even
Okay.
matter.
But I want to roll it too.
27 athletics.
How high of a roll can we get at level 2?
And then a strength check to try and pry it free.
I'll give you advantage. Ooh, I was gonna give you advantage because of that natural 20. I'll give you advantage on your strength check to pry it out.
I think mathematically it's 29.
And then I will use my first of 2 available heroic inspirations.
Wait. You're a level 2 fighter, right?
Oh. Yes, thank you.
Can you use it on ability checks, or do you have to wait till
Ability
tactical mind or
checks.
whatever?
Ability checks.
Not at level 1, but level 2, you can do more than I can.
Fail, so I have to choose to
So-
wait
so do
to
you
know
know-
that I fail, which means I can't
Got it.
wait then heroic inspiration. So, okay.
Raining roll is a 10.
Telemachus is like, oh.
See, and
Oh
I
my
think
God.
this is where, like, this is in that middle ground where inspiration becomes a real gamble. Like, if I just had that 5, obviously I'm going to use it. Okay.
Well,
I'm going to ask.
your
Tim,
tactical
does this
inspiration-
fail?
Oh yeah.
This does fail.
Okay, so I'm going to potentially expend a use of second wind. I'm going to roll a d10. 15 is the total to my
15.
strength check.
You are able to wedge your sword into the rock.
And I will
I'm
need
imagining you're
use of
holding on with one like handhold, the other one you're like yanking down on
Yeah.
this. Eventually, you're able to like kind of chip away.
I think it
This quantity
pops
is a
out
lot
of
of
the
like
wall, and I'm hoping Telemachus can catch it. Because I'm more
yeah,
focused on not falling
and
down
it's
20
going
feet.
flying. Telemachus making athletics or this is gonna be athletics.
Light a hand. Yoink.
No, I'm making you do athletics. This is football wide receiver catch here.
Athletics. Da, 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 da. 18.
Legendary.
Very nice.
Hey, you're able to catch it before it smashes against any of the rocks at your feet. However, this maneuver, the two of you didn't realize this. This maneuver was rather loud,
Yeah.
and so
Yeah,
peeking
I feel like
its head-
Moby's already facing the cave, starting to mutter mage armor.
We're like, what the fuck?
Telemachus didn't even care if it was gonna be loud for the record. He's just like,
This guy knows how to find
actively
rocks.
cheering out loud.
yeah. I literally go, I got it.
Alright, the two of them are screaming at each other. Don't even realize it. Your
Literally
stealth check,
celebrating.
yeah, got this creature aware of your presence, but the loud clanging that's going on has drawn it out of its lair. I need you all to roll initiative. But wait, let me delete everybody first.
But
Oh,
wait,
there's more.
more.
Yeah. Yeah. Does my mage armor go off pre-combat, or should I be wanting to catch
I'll
that
give
first?
you. You were, yeah. If you're saying you were prepared to
Okay,
cast
cool.
it, I'll give.
Alright, so what you're telling me is...
So you're telling me. So you're saying.
We don't want to fight it though, right?
Oh, you can use heroic inspiration on an initiative. Because it's not tied to ability checks. That's fun. I was gonna say, so did I
What?
fail this initiative?
Well, oh, that's funny. You never would though. Oh, unless in the old days when they like were stronger. Now,
Yeah.
athletics check. What am I doing? Dude, I love Telemachus's
What
initiative.
was happening?
Although
Oh, Coakley was
14 for me.
describing-
Oh, I don't roll that on on paper. Sorry.
Coakley was describing their interaction with the quarterstaff, and I was just staring at MJ and Chris and be like, Don't bring up Athena. Don't bring up Athena. Don't bring up Quick Thought.
Dude, quick thought. So cool. Tactician?
Do we got everybody in here?
Rip.
Looks like it.
He's not dead. He's just on vacation in the wild.
I'm noticing we are at our time, so do we
Oh, yeah,
want
we are.
to start this little situation next time? Figure out what to do about the dandelion, view the statues, head back to the town, prepare for the ritual of effervescence, which should be taking place tomorrow
Yeah.
for you guys.
I look
like
at
a
you
plan?
guys, though. I'll tell you one thing, because this might affect how you want to play in your turns. I look at you, and I say, I point at the dandelion, and I point at myself.
He
And then I
wants to
point.
sleep with the dandelion.
Not an acknowledgement.
Yeah. I
That
mean,
This
if
belt
what,
would make a great fur.
I think that's illegal,
bedspread.
Telemachus.
hey, I'm half animal, right? Let's not. We blurred the lines.
You're right.
This
It's
fur.
only a misdemeanor for you.
We're not yucking yums.
That's what the gays do say. Sweet. Wait, so we gotta talk though real quick.